Hi. So I've been full on disassociating at work. I think I can say that now with confidence that that's what's been happening for like the last few weeks. And it really sucks. Because it really is something. It really is something that happens. Like it's not just a part of the day. It is my entire day. Like so for 8 hours of the day, I'm genuinely wondering what's happening and where I am and who I am and what's going on. It really fucking sucks. So today I on my lunch break, I don't eat lunch in my car because I'm too nervous to. I'm too anxious to eat in front of other people and among people like that. So I eat in my car, and today I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gas station and get gas. And I didn't even need gas. I just like needed something, I don't know. And then I got gas and I was like, yeah, I still need to feel something. So then I went inside and I bought 2 bags of Sour Patch Kids. And I can't say it didn't help, because that wouldn't be true. Yeah. I don't know what to do, because it's kind of scary just zoning out for 8 hours. And then like I get on the road to get home and it gets dark so early now, and so all I see are like shadows of trees and just a lot of lights and the same white dashes in the road just over and over and over again. And yeah, it's getting really difficult to keep my grasp on reality. So after work today, I went straight to Trader Joe's, and the one that I go to is near a Guitar Center, and so I had my groceries and I got in the car and I was still feeling like some kind of way, and I just sort of like looked at Guitar Center and I sat in my car and stared at the store for like 100 seconds and then was like, you know what, yeah, let's do this. And I got a tambourine. I hope it helps. I think why I'm just really frustrated because I'm trying so hard to not slip into that. Like I'm trying to do everything I can to not do that. Like I'm not just sitting at home when I get home from work. I'm not just doing nothing over the weekends. In fact, I'm doing lots of things. Like this weekend I got the battery in my car changed. I got I went apple picking. I paid $28 for a peck of apples, which I think is 10 pounds of apples. So I spent a ridiculous amount of money on apples that I had to go get myself. And then it's a fuck ton of apples. So now I literally have an apple a day for many days. This is cool. Like, I'm having experiences and it's fun, and I just can't get a grip on anything. And I guess that's what's so frustrating. I don't know how to get a grip on anything. So yeah, I went apple picking. And really, I went to the place that I went to because they have a restaurant there and they have cider, and that's what I really wanted to do. But the line to get to the restaurant was stupid long. Like, I was not prepared to wait over an hour outside just to have some pizza, so I cut my losses and I picked apples. And I thought that's all I was going to get, but then I didn't realize there was a whole store. So you could just get like canned cider like this. So this one is the Honey Crisp, and I don't normally go for the sweeter ones, but I didn't have my glasses on at the time that I was in the store, so I was struggling to read, and I was like, whatever, I'll just do this one. But yeah, it's pretty good. But that's the orchards I went to, Carlson Orchards. And it was cool. They had like Macintosh apples and Fuji and Empire. They had a red Rome, I think, a red Ida. Is that it? I think that was it. Fuji, did I already say that one? My favorite apple is Envy, so I was bummed that they didn't have that. I'm wondering if that's more of like a West Coast variety. But yeah, it was good. After I picked all of my apples, I got in my car and I was fucking hungry, so I grabbed an apple and it was really good. I don't know which kind it was because they don't come pre-stickered on the tree. Whatever variety I had, I really liked it. Yeah. Then I saw Dune a few nights ago. I was absolutely amazed. I had no idea what it was about. I know it's a book and I've heard about it. I've been hearing about it for a very long time, but I've never read it. And so I was excited to not know anything about, what this was going into it. And it was phenomenal. Timothy does not miss. I love him in every single thing he does. I really do. I've just become a very big fan, kind of out of nowhere. Like, it started with Call Me By Your Name. I think that movie's kind of a perfect movie. So come at me. I will defend it until I die. I think it's perfect. And yeah, since then I've just like, I don't know, I love him in everything that he's in. Little Women, Lady Bird. I haven't seen I think it's called A Beautiful Boy. I really want to. I haven't seen it yet. That's something I'm dying to see. And then I also saw The French Dispatch this weekend, and These are all new movies, so I don't want to say too much about them. So I won't say anything. But Timothy doesn't miss. Yeah, so I saw the French Dispatch at this cool like theater in Brookline, and I really like that area. I'm gonna try to go there more because there's like a couple restaurants that I like there, like to get a drink, and I found a place that had really good food the other day when I went. There's always a place to park. It's wonderful. And it's free, if you can fucking believe it. It's like, it may be called Brookline, but in my heart, it's heaven. And then, I went to Gloucester, which was really nice. I went there on my birthday, and I decided to do that because it's like close to the, god damn it, Elise, because it's close to the water, and I grew up by the water, and like I just really miss seeing it. So that was my plan, and I'm happy I did it. I went to this museum that was like a castle. It was owned by like this really famous inventor back in the day who patented hundreds of fucking inventions of all kinds, like science and, well, I mean, I guess, you know, they would have all been science, but like radios and speakers, and I saw something about radiation in there, like during World War I, which was a pretty big thing in the scientific world at the time. Just radioactive isotopes and all that good shit. Yeah, and then just architecturally, that was my favorite part of it all. Just like architecturally, that castle was really fucking cool. I was just like getting myself lost like in that house kind of on purpose, just because it was, yeah, it was a fun time. Yeah, so I did that. And then I wanted to go to this chasm thing that's there because it looked really pretty when I looked it up. But I remember when I was reading about it, people kept saying that like good luck finding parking. There's only like 7 spots to park, and that you have to go through like a residential area to get to it. So I tried going, and really that just meant that I don't know, it's like you have to go through somebody's yard in order to get there. I was following the directions, and then I turned on a street, and it was literally like, this is a private residence, and I was like, well, I will turn back around then. So yeah, did not go there. So I was gonna go into town, and then I saw like literally just the world's biggest park like on the like to my right, and so I just like kind of yeeted in, and it was cool. It's like right by the water, and so there were a couple of like tiny beaches, and like it was pretty big, so you could just like kind of walk around and get lost, and like I love that shit. And so I just found a nice slab of granite to sit in all on my own, and it was nice. And I actually I really love being outside like that and being outdoors and hiking. It just does something for my anxiety, and like I've always felt really comfortable in those situations since I was a kid, and I think it's because like it's one of the only situations when it's like socially acceptable to just like walk away, because like you can literally just be in the middle of a conversation or in the middle of dinner with like, you know, whoever you're with, like friends or family, and then you can just say like, yeah, I'm gonna go walk by the river, and everyone's like, all right, bye. It's totally fine. I love it. I wish I could do that in real life, like just having dinner with friends or doing things with people and be like, all right, I'm gonna go, bye. No questions asked. So yeah, that was nice. Then I went to this record store and I found a few things. I like just like trying to, I don't know, I like getting things that look interesting. So there was this one that had a, it has like a clear, like almost like foil thing on top of it, and like in a square, and so it looks like a mirror. And one of the songs was called Mirror, and I don't know, I think it was like an older like R&B. I don't remember. I haven't listened to it yet, but I got that. And I did get a Bob Dylan one. I got a Billy Joel one. They were both albums that I hadn't heard of, but I really liked the covers of them. I got a Chambers Brothers one, and for them, I love like everything that I've ever found with them. I think I have 2 records. Yeah, they're amazing. So I just kind of find their stuff like literally just as I find it. Fuck, I'm getting tired. I think like the sugar from the cider and the candy is like not doing good for me. And then I got this comedy record that was called like Split Personalities. And I didn't recognize the comedian, but I liked the title. So I was going to give that a whirl. And the last one that I got, it's actually the first one that I found, was Robert Frost reading Robert Frost poems. So it's a good little haul. By the time I got into town, everything was kind of closing because it was a Sunday. So I didn't get to see too much else. I got this crew neck. It says Gloucester. It's very warm and comfy. It was $15, so hell yeah. I've just been really into crew necks lately. I don't know. What else? Yeah, after that I got dinner, and I didn't put enough research into this, but the place that I went to didn't have oysters, like raw oysters, which was the thing that I really, really, really wanted on my birthday. I think I've just kind of conditioned myself that way. Like when I was a kid, that's where I would want to go eat. Well, not where I would want to go, but I always wanted raw oysters, and so every year on my birthday, I'd want to go to Joe's Crab Shack just so I could have half a dozen raw oysters. And of course, Joe's Crab Shack is the place where like they embarrass you on your birthday, and it's awful. So I've been embarrassed, I'm pretty sure, in every single way that they have possible on your birthday. But yeah, they didn't have oysters, and I was bummed. They only had scallops. But the food was still good. I had a beer. There was live music. And when I left, it was pretty close to sunset, and I decided, like, my plan was to just go home straight after that, but it was only like 5:30. So I went back to that park that I found, and I watched the sunset, and it was pretty nice. I found some nice rocks by like this little pier. Up there, it's like all granite and I think that's all I found. No, I found another one. I have a degree in geology and I can't ever remember. It had to have been a gneiss. I can't ever keep it straight in my head which one is just a gneiss, and in my defense, I haven't studied the fucking subject in like 5 years, but anyway, I found some nice granite and some nice, no, fuck. But like I just love it because the water rounds out all of the rocks. So they're just nice, smooth specimens. I think I found granodiorite. I'm pretty sure that's what my brain was telling me it was. I don't know anything. I like math way more. That was my minor, and I wish I'd majored in that instead, but oh well. So, yeah, found some nice rocks. And then I went into town just to have one more drink. And the place that I went to, I was so bummed. I happened to go on the last day that they were open for the season, but the bartender was telling me that they have another location that's very close to me, so I could just start frequenting that one. And yeah, that was my birthday. When I was leaving that place, this couple was also leaving, and when they were leaving, one of the waitresses was like, "Bye and happy birthday again," and like nobody carded me my whole birthday, so nobody knew, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, the simulation is just kind of mean to me in that way. Not that it's a bad thing that it was somebody else's birthday, but just like a meta thing that sometimes I can't handle. Not really. I'm fragile. Fuck. I was actually thinking about math today, which I haven't done in quite some time. I used to, like, if I let myself think about numbers or math or read books about black holes or like anything like that, I get entirely and completely lost in my thoughts to the point where I'm just riddled, useless when I'm trying to do anything else. Like when I was a student, when this first happened to me, like me getting obsessed with numbers, I was a full-time student and I was working and shit, and I just remember like I would go to work and be pretending to add shit up for like my work, like breaking down a customer's, I don't know, custom order or something, and I was just there like trying to solve my own stupid math problems, and literally like the unsolvable ones, the ones that you would get $1 million for if you solved, those are the ones that I was trying to crack because I'm a fucking idiot. I used to frequent this coffee shop when I was a student too. Like I would go there every night. They would be open till midnight, and I would go there after one of my jobs at the university, and I would study till they closed. And I remember, I think I was gonna stop there like before one of my classes. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to take my textbook and I'm not going to take any paper. I'm just going to read. I'm just going to read for my other class that isn't math, and I'm not going to do math. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give myself paper to start thinking about it and then start working it out. So I went in, and of course, an idea struck, and I couldn't just keep it in my head, and I was like, fuck. And I had a napkin, and I did have a pen, and I just started doing math on my fucking napkin in this coffee shop. And one of the baristas that like recognized me because she's seen me so many times, she like kind of came up to me, and it kind of startled me because I was like so into it, and I probably just looked psychotic, but she was like, do you need some paper? I was like, yeah. That was a time. But it was kind of cool because I came up with a proof for something. Not one of the unsolved ones, but one that has like actually a million solutions. I don't know if it's a million, it's a ton. There's a fuck ton of ways you can prove this one. It's a lot of fun. I would recommend you just like try to do it. It's honestly just fun trying to find patterns in these things because they are there. So the first one that I ever learned about, so like picture kind of like a triangle in your head as I'm like saying these, but you have, no, I don't like that glare. Okay, so like you have, we're gonna be doing this like in rows. So the first row is 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, and then the second row is 4 plus 5 plus 6 equals 7 plus 8. The third row is 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 equals 13 plus 14 plus 15. These statements are true, and they will keep going forever and ever. So basically you're adding another number, like you start out with 2 numbers on the left side, 1 number on the right, and then 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, forever and ever and ever into infinity. It will hold true. It will hold true. And in case you're unsure about that, so like 1 plus 2 does equal 3. 4 plus 5 plus 6, that's 9 plus 6 is 15 equals 7 plus 8 is also 15. The next row, what number are we starting with? 9. 9 plus 10 is 19 plus 11 is 30 plus 12 is 42 equals, what did I say? 12? No, fuck. I forgot what number I said. It was 42, and I started with 9, so the other guy was going to be 16, 15, so then it's 15, 14, 13. So then 13 plus 14 is 27, plus 15 is 42. Okay, so we have 42 equals 42. I think the next row is 90, if I'm remembering that correctly. Anyway, this goes on forever, and so I don't really remember how I proved it, but this is what my brain was stuck on for a straight 3 days, and I'm not kidding. Like I would literally be in the shower, like just staring at the fucking wall, like adding all of these numbers and trying to figure out a pattern. But I mean, yeah, it's the way that I kind of broke it up was in seeing that like the first number on the left side is a square number, and so because this is a square, that means that the ending number of your previous line is the square minus 1, and then it's like trying to algebraically define that. So like I need to look at my journals to see how I proved it exactly, but it came like I had to define that first. I like subtracted something and then I was matching their differences, and then that was the way that I proved it. And there was like a series involved technically with my proof. I'll have to look it up. But you also have to like really think about it too, because you're like, okay, how do I algebraically define these numbers? And what I mean by that is like, okay, so if a row is a number, like if we say when n equals 1, this is the row that I'm talking about. So if n equals 1, we have n squared. The first row starts with 1, which is true. So if we go to the second row, n equals 2, n squared, 2 squared is 4. The second row starts with 4, also true. Third row starts with 9, true. Fourth row starts with 16, true. 25, 36, 49, all the way down. So then it's like trying to define it, you know, for your ending number, like of the row, which you can define as the, how can I say this in the easiest way? It's the next row, it's the next row's square minus 1. So, okay, if we go back to n equals 1, the first row, your last number is 3, which is 4 minus 1, like the first number's second row minus 1. So really you're saying it's n squared minus 1, and your n in this case is 2. So to define that algebraically, if you're saying that your n is 1, then your ending number is n plus 1 squared minus 1. Like n plus 1 parentheses squared minus 1. So if you plug that in, you have 1 plus 1 squared minus 1 is 2 squared is 4 minus 1 is 3. And we're Gucci. If you want to make that a little bit simpler, you can go back to its algebraic definition, n plus 1 squared minus 1. If you FOIL the n plus 1 squared, you get n squared plus 2, n plus 1. And then at the very end, you still have that minus 1 tacked on, so the 1's cancel each other out, and you're just left with n squared plus 2. So you can define that last number as n squared plus 2. So if we go to row 3, okay, this first number is still 3 squared, just 9. And then we have this new definition of, oh, I forgot the 2n. It's not just n squared plus 2. No, fuck, it's n squared plus 2n. I think I said that before. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, it's n squared plus 2n. So then you have, okay, first number is 3 squared, which is 9. The last number is n squared plus 2n. So 3 squared plus 2 times 3, which is 9 plus 6, which is 15, which is the ending number. You'd have to write it down to like really see it. But yeah, so there's that. And then my proof came with like the middle numbers. And something about 6 times something and the difference between the rows of something. And I proved some difference, and I don't remember what it was. But it was pretty cool. There's a lot of ways to prove that one. And there are many more like them. Like, why are squares the sums of all odd numbers? Chronologically. So, like so if you just start with like the first odd number, 1, okay? And then you add the next odd number, 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. That's a square. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. Also a square. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 is 16. Also a square. Like, every time you tack on another odd number, you get a square number. Why is that? Math is a really cool thing. But I just like I get wrapped up in these things and in an unhealthy way, which is, I don't let myself think about them because I do get obsessed, and I get obsessed with the impossible ones, like Goldbach's conjecture and Fermat's last theorem, which actually is solved now, I think. I was so mad about Fermat's last theorem because I figured out a way to find numbers that are actually really, get you really fucking close, and my ex-boyfriend at the time was a big fan of The Simpsons, and he was also really into math, and so he would tell me all the time how like The Simpsons was written by mathematicians, and that's why you see like, if there's ever like anything math related on a board in The Simpsons, it's real. And so there was this episode where I think Homer is like 3D or something, I don't know, and on the board there's something with like Fermat's last theorem, and I just remember it had something to do, like there were 12s in it, I don't really remember exactly, but I saw that and I got so mad because their approximation was so much closer than anything that I'd gotten at all, and I was like, well, fuck everything, I'm so mad. That's another one that I'll have to look at my notes about. But I was able to figure out, like, Fermat's last theorem is x to the n plus y to the n equals z to the n. And I figured out a way to get, you know, the right x, y's, and z's for whatever exponent you choose. I could get really fucking close, but I never got, you know, these are impossible questions, and I think I can do these things. But anyway, They're kind of fun to think about, as long as you don't let them control you. Okay, this has been going on for a very long time. Okay. Oh, audiobooks. I didn't go over that. I got Daniel Sauce's audiobook, and it's really funny, and you should get it. It's called Everybody You Hate Is Gonna Die. And on that note, goodbye.